Alright everybody, welcome back to the moth-hawk project, and today we're gonna work on the leaves again, because well, we need to do it anyway. So no further ado, let's get started, and I hope you guys will enjoy. I mean, really, today was actually a fun day. I actually went to my work today, and I had to do like ordering stuff so that you know, I need to put things in order. And well, you know, it was all about wood, and I'm very fond of it because it was actually quite funny to, you know, see like, well, this one has a barcode, this one doesn't, and then I was like, I'm gonna give those a name that don't have one, and I needed to sticker those that don't have a name. So every individual that didn't have a name eventually got a name, and then, you know, that's when things got really funky. Hold on, Shabloom. That's decent. Alright. I'll need to move this down and then up. That's not black. There you go, we got black now. Alright, let's continue. Seems I had still my settings of my old drawing still there. Oh well. It happens. So yeah. I am very happy to, you know, give all the wooden objects a name, because I was like very busy with making sure that I did it all correctly, and it was hard to do, don't get me wrong now, it was really hard to do. Wait, what? Oh, alright. So this is all terribly drawn. There you go. That needs to be gone. And this needs to be gone. Alright, now we can continue. Now we can. So, yeah. The amount of stuff I had to do with the wooden object that need to be coded and well, you know, ordered, it was quite funny. After that, you know, after going on a break, I actually went with some music and danced through to the room, and I was like, oh yeah, baby, it went all right. And I don't even have to do anything here to make it feel right. I just had to do whatever I needed to do in the first place, which was just doing my job, coding stuff apparently. So yeah, I did that. I assembled some of the units that needed to be assembled, and that was actually my day of work. Nothing very special, nothing very intrigued to see, but the best thing about it was that, well, the trains didn't actually move. So actually I had to ask my mother to bring me to my home, to my work, because, well, you know, if the trains ain't working, then I won't be able to do the things that I need to do, which is actually work. So yeah. I did that. So, let's see. The funny thing about this, you know, drawing is that how relaxing it is. Everything just goes and does whatever it needs to do, and nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing needs to be, I need to be worrying about. Because the amount of stuff I do here is just, you know, casually relaxing, making things quiet, regularly quiet, you know, all that lovely stuff. It's a great thing. It's a great thing to see and do to begin with. And I really like how this this idea of, you know, working on the drawing actually works quite well on it. So yeah. Making the tree work around, so, you know, getting all the stuff done by it makes all the things more interesting to look anyway. There you go. So what I'm now doing is actually adding the line draw, so it's gonna be like, so yeah, I need to draw lines. Of course I can continue with my lines if I want to, and I'm gonna do that anyway. So How much has been already done? I don't know. The more I do here, the better it gets. Yes, that's true. And the more I do here, the more, developed the drawing will become. And once I add the coloration differences and then the shading of it, it will look nice. And we're just getting started on it anyway. So, no need to worry about anything. We just need to learn how to draw properly. That's for sure. And I'm quite fond upon how much I draw. Like, I know that if I now do something sloppy, then, well, it will be, you will see it in the artwork, and that's not my goal here. My goal is to make sure that I do this drawing correctly. By the book. Well, not by the book, by my standards. That's not by the book. Well, technically it's by the book, but not by the book that, general rules, because I already broke many of them. Way too many of them. Also, yes, it is in this. It's in the right correction. All right, no need to do any calibrations. Lovely. So as you can see, this drawing is such an easy drawing to do. Well, it's not easy if you are not having the patience, but I do, so I would call it easy. You just have to do whatever I need. What you just need to do is just draw little lines. So you try to draw a little teeth, but instead of drawing the teeth correctly, you just draw them over the other ones, creating this effect of, leaves. Of course, you don't want to create too big of them, because if you create too big, you're gonna get this, and that is not good. That's not how we're gonna draw these leaves. We're gonna keep them tiny and quiet, because if we're gonna create them tiny, it creates this effect that I want to have, like this lush effect of tree leaves. The main issue which I had with this drawing already is, like, getting too much detail in is bad, but if you keep everything detailed, then yes. If you can use shading correctly and some good old-fashioned lighting, then things will look way better than, the luring the settings down. I know this might sound a little bit difficult to understand, but yes. I will create less detail by keeping the detail in, but then fading it out. Rather than creating less detailed buildings, less detailed effects, I rather want to create a kind of blur effect on the drawing to keep the effect of it. So what I'm going to be doing, I'll show you once I'm done here, and then I'll show you what I mean, because it's important to understand what I mean here, because it's one of the tricks that I learned that actually works quite well. If you want to create something that looks nice and stands out, you can create a mask on your drawing, which doesn't harm the drawing, therefore it's not destructive. Because it's not destructive, you can keep it, therefore you can create the effect you want. And that's important, because we don't want to have this destructive effect influence our drawing. We want to create a less destructive effect, but therefore we need to be making sure that we don't do this destructively. And that's where the mask is gonna come in handy, because it creates it will create a layer where we can work and experiment and use that to our advantage to create the effect that we want, which is this, but then actually this, so less detailed in certain parts, without editing the texture that we are now applying on this drawing. And the texture that we are applying is, of course, leaves, though, because we need the leaves that represent the leaves. So today it is actually raining really hard. Well, it's not raining really hard, it's just very wet and stupid. And because it is stupid and wet, I don't like the weather now. But it has been very nice and calm weather, and now it's like Hey, it's raining outside. Congratulations, your whole thing is now ruined. That's most likely the thing. No, well, not the whole thing. I mean, the laundry is ruined. Yeah. If you put laundry here, then you better be ready to grab your legs and get really fast on cleaning up the cleaning up the dry rack, because whoa, I don't like that. It can be all of a sudden it's gonna be raining. It's like very sneaky all the time, which is a thing that is very typical here, because well, we're living in a very wet place, and it's only getting wetter. So yeah, I like how this whole damn thing, all this drawing parts is getting so easily done by just doing what I ever do right now. And I had so much trouble today with getting back in track and getting back in focus, because I actually was very tired after working, because it was a long ride, and work tires me out because it's work. You're supposed to be tired because of work, I think, because then you did your job well, I believe. So that's a thing. And the main problem I always have with getting tired of work is that finding the motivation to work on my drawing. That's one of those things that is little bit difficult, just a tiny little bit. I don't know if you already noticed it, but it's one of those things that is very hard for me to continue sometimes, because well, work tires me, and then having a good stream is very important. Therefore, you're supposed to be very active and doing all the things that you need to do, like talking. But if you're tired, then well, talking is not going to be a thing, because well, you're tired. So it's going to be like, it's going to be talking about nothing but you're going to be talking about, if you're tired, what you're going to be talking about? Probably about cheese. Cheese, meat, and something else that makes you dreamy. There you go. Of course, now I'm far more energetic than, trees and meat and cheese, but still, cheese is good, so I think that's not a problem. I think it's more like the energy level of speech that might be a little bit, off. And if that is off, then well, people will recognize it. And if people recognize it, they might, they might be a little bit disturbed, like, well, you're a little bit tired, that's all. But it does create an effect that you don't want. Creates the effect of, people knowing that you're tired. And that's never a good thing. Never a good sign, never a great time. So, making sure that you are happy and a little friend, making sure that that's why you need to take breaks. And those breaks I actually do. I sometimes take breaks, sometimes I don't take breaks. It depends on the situation, actually. Sometimes actually taking breaks is actually the wrong move, which is very strange. Yeah. But the moth-hawk project, it's coming in nicely. You see already how far we are in. We're almost there. We are just drawing these leaves. Oh yeah, leaves. And why do we draw these leaves? Well, because we need that sweet place. Alright. Now, the main issue that we have with this thing is that we are trying to do whatever, we are asked to get done, which is the main problem that I had right now, which is, drawing. Because leaves are very difficult for me to draw, therefore, it's a very difficult subject to work on. By creating a texture that, might help with the structure of leaves, then creating a mask that will create the leaf effect more better, it actually creates the look upon believability. I think I said that right. Probably I said that right. I'm not very good at, talking. It's one of those things that I don't have. The skill of not be able to talk correctly. Because, well, native, not English. So yeah, I have been working on that. I have been working on trying to speak proper English. I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to make sure that speaking English is like as good as my native language. Even though my native language is a little bit of a very difficult language as well. I understand it fully. I can speak it fully, but it is it's such a dick language because everybody speaks differently in my country. Everybody speaks differently because it's all fused provinces with each other. It's all one big mush pit. So yeah. Also, I have created a new design for the drawing I'm been working on that needs to be done by February. Oh boy. And that is the second character. The second character that I want to draw in that drawing is gonna be fun and happy and a little bastard. It's gonna be called Barry Boneman because he's literally just a skeleton with a monocle and blunderbuss as his weapons, and having that poncho as a cool looking outfit. It's literally a ghost skeleton. That's called Barry Boneman. And then I need to go for General Taco Toxic. I'm still wondering if I make it a frog or not. Yeah, probably. Because it's actually quite funny to make it a frog that is actually a toxic frog. That or it's gonna be Hammer Shark. Hammer Shark, just the head of Hammer Shark in a space cosmonaut thing. So yeah, I'm trying to do my very best here to get these characters developed, getting the background developed, getting the stones correctly drawn, because it's all about making sure that the drawing is coming to life very quickly. And since we're still doing this, it's a little bit of a change of heart. But yeah, moth-hawk project needs to be done by this year. I am hoping that I'm gonna be able to finish it this year. Probably yes, because we're almost there. We're now halfway, so yeah, we're probably almost there. Because these trees don't require too much of a paying attention. The most thing that's gonna be probably difficult is the lighting, the shading, and all that swaggy stuff that needs to be done. Because it needs to be looking fancy. Otherwise, it's not very nice. It's not going to be looking nice, and we want to have nice looking fancy stuff, because if we don't look nice, then it's a little bit ruined. I want to have a nice looking tree, I want to have a nice looking bird, I want to have nice looking stones. And why do I want to have all these nice things? Well, because it's very important that all the drawing comes to life, and it's all drawn in the same art style. It's all drawn in the same way of doing things. Therefore, it creates character. It creates peace and harmony and all that lovely stuff. And because it creates that effect, then, then you're doing a great job. Of course, my art style is not very good at drawing humans because, humans, that's the word. There you go. Because it's not very good at drawing humans. The main problem is the art style is not. I have not yet perfected the realism in the art style. That's the main problem. I have not perfected the realism in human bodies and human shapes because of I am still a rookie at that, and I'm learning. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry. I'm learning already to draw humans a bit better. So that's already a thing. I'm learning it. I'm learning it bit by bit. I'm trying to get better at my art style, my tuning art style, my drawing art style. And how do I do this, Nan? Well, you only see me drawing the moth-hawk project, which is true, but the main idea with the moth-hawk project is that this moth-hawk project actually keeps me up to date with, learning how to do a realistic kind of drawing without, winning the art style. So technically this is actually, an experiment, even though it's not an experiment. Because, I can feel it, I know what I need to draw, I know what I need to, or how to draw it. I just need to finish it. And then finally we can start with new things, like, you know, working on my jack, because, you know, I need to have my jacket upper being done, also because I want to have that guy. Because it's quite cool to see the fusion between the comic style and the original art style. Because that is actually the thing that I'm going to go for anyway. It is like line art, but with more less line art. And I probably think that that is actually the correct way. I think also that this is not the correct way of using. This is probably not the right way of line arting. Just because, you know, the pencil is less good than the. How do you say this one? It's a pencil and it is a pen problem, and same big old deal. The main problem I had with the pen, well, the main problem with this one is actually that it is way too transparent, and the pencil is way too thick. Both ways, very difficult. So what I'm learning now is actually using the Toonie art style to learn how to do the line art without, you know, ruining it all. So finding the feeling of, you know, how to draw things, how to do the nice little brush strokes that I need to do to perfect it, to make sure that it looks nice and doesn't look forced, like, you know, I'm gonna draw a line and then you have this line, you know, that kind of line. You don't want to have that kind of line. And trust me, I have seen some things that, you know, have those lines and they look ugly. Because they really they push the object way too in the front, which causes, you know, all the stuff to be really bad looking. All right, now since that we're now done with this little bit of a drawing, we're gonna do a little experiment. All right, we're gonna do a little experiment. We're gonna do a little chibbity chap chap. So transparency mask, no, we're gonna go for filter mask. I'm gonna say we're gonna go for blur. Yeah, blur is a good way. So this is a blur. We're gonna probably go for like 2. 2 is good enough, I believe. Yes, 2 is good enough. So we have a blur of 2. Well, this might not look like a tree, right? This feels really awkward. Now we're gonna pick up this and we're gonna see if we can get this thing a bit on the move. So first things first, we want to make sure that we have the lines being, you know, representing correctly. So lines gonna be represented correctly because we want to have these lines to be in the background. So now we have this tree that's in the background. Yes, true. It has a little bit of blur effect to it, but we want to make sure that this blur effect is not everywhere. So we're gonna be putting a little bit of the drawing in there. Now we have the blur effect on the tree, but we have this now effect that gives this glare. As you can see, it gives this glare that does represent a good amount. So we're going to be doing a light blur with some parts blurred in, some parts don't blur in, and we can now do the lovely thing that is where's the blur tool? There you go. We're going to use a blur tool on a blur tool. What could possibly go wrong here? Absolutely nothing, because we can now add the effect that we want. We can now see that we have some parts here that have been colored out and some parts that have not been colored out. And now what we're doing is actually making sure that all of this is evenly blurred, which is a thing that needs to be done. Yes, it's a thing that needs to be done. We need to make sure that this is all blurred in the right amount. So now we have this blur, and now we can see like, well, we still want to make sure that this is a little bit more, this is a little bit more, and well, we're gonna do a little bit more here, a little bit more there, and then we're gonna use the blur tool again, and that will spread out the effect, and so on, so on. This will be, you know, not like we don't need to do this like a lot of times. We just need to make sure that the blur tool has served its purpose to give the effect of, you know, that your eyes cannot focus on the tree too much, but it will focus a little bit on the tree, which is nice. What does this effect give you? Well, this effect gives you the effect that the tree, aka the tree that has the effect that we need. So if we have this tree, we have this tree on this blur effect, well, we can now see like, well, what do we want now? Well, we can go for the green effect that we want. We're gonna go to full green, and we're gonna color it in, and you will see what I mean here. So, no, like that. We're gonna do this. There you go. We're gonna add that part up. There you go. Like such a way. Oh, look at that. We now have the tree part. Now, if we then add a darker color to this, a little bit there, a little bit this, and we give it to the other one that we have here, we can now add some color to this, and you can see what is going to happen. The effect of the tree with the blur effect gives the effect on the tree, as you can see, a nice little shaping. As you can see, it gives a shape. The shape with the shading combined gives the tree that lovely mushroom effect that you want, because we want to have a lush tree leaves. So lush means that we wanted to give this effect a little bit of a go. We can keep this color, of course, because, well, you know, we still need to do anyway the coloring on the tree, so why not now? And then we're gonna add some little more lighter colors. Oh, well, that's also nice. So we're gonna look for some lighter colors that, you know, represent the colors that we want. So we can go for like this. Yes, that would lovely work. So now, as you can see, we can go for a little bit of a lighting color, and we can do the merge tool. We can use the merge tool to give the color a little bit more of a realistic point of view and a more nicer looking color. And now you can see that the tree actually is alive. There you go. That is a lovely part of a tree. Of course, you know, the tree trunk is not, well, the tree, how do you say that? Tucking, branches. The branches of the tree are still not correctly connected because, well, you know, that's my mistake, my design mistake. Oh well, you know, we're gonna fix it anyway. But yeah, you can now see that the tree looks nice, feels nice, and it gives that lush feeling to it. Even though we have not yet implemented any shading, we have implemented, well, we implemented the lighting and the shading, but we have not implemented the shadows. So therefore, you know, because we only implemented a blur tool to create a field of depth, it actually already works. It already works, even though, you know, even though it's not yet fully finished. And now what I can do is actually quite easily just, you know, remove the parts that we don't need. So we're gonna go here. And now we actually need to do this manually. Oh boy, this is gonna be manually done because, well, you know, it's a tree, and we don't want any mistakes on the tree. We don't want to be, you know, terribly colored in. All right, well, looks at that I need to do some coloring myself here, so I'll do that. Boop, boop. There you go. And there you go. Then I'm gonna go for a blur tool to fix the part that we have here. There you go. Alright, fine. So, yeah. It's a very unique experience. Especially since the tree does work quite well. The tree leaves now work quite well. And this is actually a thing I figured out back when I was working on something else, namely the boat project, because the boat project does have the same effect, but not on that scale. It doesn't have the effect of the blur combined with less blurring, with more blurring. I just only figured out that I could blur things to make things go vague away into the background. I didn't know that I could, you know, modify the blur effect. And this is why it is so important that you are working on your drawings. Well, this is why it's important to learn from your drawings, not work. Learn. Because the more you learn about your drawings, the better it gets. And because this drawing, you know, is very because this drawing learned me already a lot about how to do things and how to do certain amount of ways of, you know, accomplishing things that I normally would have been like, well, screw this, I ain't gonna do this, you know, that kind of feeling. That kind of bossiness I am very fond of. So now that we have this, we can now see that, oh no, we have this whole part that we have been leaving behind. Well, we can now decide, what do we want to do with this? We can say like, well, since that it's already taken by the bird, we don't have to work on it. And since that the position of the bird is already fixed and correctly placed, we don't have to work on it. True. But there is one simple thing that is actually very important to understand. Since that you are using the, since that there is a little bit of a problem with that. If I would have wanted to move this to, I don't know, another place, I would never be able to do that. Wait. Let's remove the blur a bit. Why is this so... boy. If I want to remove the blur a bit, I'm just gonna go for this a little bit. Nah. I'm gonna add the parts. You can already see like the difference between le blur, no blur, blur, no blur, blur, no blur. Yeah, you can already see the difference. But yeah, I'm working on getting all the stuff done. So yeah, we want to have this colored because if we want to move, if we ever wanted to move this and then, you know, do it again, then well, it would have been ruined anyway. So no, we're not supposed to be very greedy. Is that the word? Probably it's the word. Nah, I don't know. It's one of those words that you need to learn later on anyway. I think it's greed. You don't want to be greedy upon declining or declining. Yeah, probably declining the opportunity of tree leaves anyway. So you don't want to be like, oh well, I just drew this or that. There you go. Alright, now we're gonna do the same thing again. And I forgot to look at the time. 30 minutes. Well, that's doable. That's doable. 30 minutes. Alright. 30 minutes to do this job right. Oh well. So as you can see, the tree does, you know, the tree is just a tree that everybody knows and loves. But the tree does have its own effects that you want. Like for instance, you can go for here to there or there and you want to have like, oh, I want to actually have some more lighter colors there. Yeah, that would be lovely. That would be an awesome idea. Well, you just, you know, add the color that you want and give it to a little bit more of an effect here. And then you are like, ah, well, this color right here doesn't make any sense. Why would I go for that? Well, you can add some more coloration to it, and then the tree does look a little bit more brighter. Then, of course, you can still keep the darker color in there and just be like, oh well, I want actually more darker color right here, a little bit more darker color right here, and then you have like right here you have some more darker colors, and it does give the effect of, you know, making sure that the tree does look alive, you know. And because the tree is already, you know, colored up, and you don't have to worry about anything because, well, you know, you already have the merge tool, so there is no need because, well, the alpha setting is on, so there is nothing. You can only blend here, and that's all. That's all, folks. So there's no need to worry about like, oh no, maybe I ruined things, and I'm like, nah. So let's continue on our lovely journey of, you know, removing the paint a little bit. Because, you know, we still want to make it a decent looking artwork, so keeping things between the lines is a very good idea. Sadly, I am a very, very terrible person because coloring was never my good part. I was never good at coloring. I never did it. I never did actually do coloring back in the day. Back in the day, I was always about black and white, and only black and white. And black and white is superior to anything else. Well, yes, it is, but if you have the right color, if you know the right color scheme, then yes, it is actually far better to go for color because it gives more life to your artwork. Even though that black and white drawings can be also very charming in their own needs and deeds. So yeah, working on this is always a pleasure because it's very relaxing. It's very calm. There's not gonna be anybody who's gonna be like, "Oi, do something else," and I'm like, no, I don't wanna, because I'm just gonna be switching this to the other one as well. I can do that as well. Nice. So yeah, since that I am not like very fond of working under pressure and be like doing things half baked, I'm always like, well, what is better to make sure that I'm not stressed? Well, working on times and making sure that I'm working in a schedule. And this is where the moth-hawk project comes in, because the moth-hawk project is actually a schedule. I always do this. I always do it in the same time, same days, same time, and try to keep it up. Even though there's sometimes like this Friday I will have something. This Tuesday I will have something, but still, I will try to keep myself sane by saying like, yeah, there is something that I need to do. And then, the answer is gonna come rolling in right now. So yeah. Also, as you can see, I went a little bit sloppy on the what is it called? The lines. So yeah, I need to figure out where those are hiding, and then casually be a dick upon that, and erase those lines because they look ugly. So yeah, working on this is always a pleasure, and it's always great to look at just what you have created. I have created a tree. Well, I have created leaves now. The tree part is still, needed to do some fixing, but it's already looking far better than before. Because, it was just a casual old-fashioned wood log, and now it's gonna be looking like a wood log with a toupee on. And next week, it's probably gonna be looking like, well, that's actually a branch. Nice. Instead of like a very stumpy boy with a toupee on. So yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to do my very best to get everything up and running. Of course, I cannot be the best at everything. No. I have qualities that I need to learn. And those qualities you gain over time. You just need to do whatever you want to do and be fun with it. Like, you can't rush a thing, you can just rush it and then be forever bad, or you just can wait and be like, well, don't mind me waiting and work on it precisely so that, the artwork will be perfected. The only downside is you need to find balance between both. You want to make sure that you're working fast, but you also want to work effective. And sometimes, those things can collide really well. And then you have that problem. But to fix that problem is one of the most hardest things and sometimes the most easiest thing. Because once you fix it, you will gain a relief. Oh, it is unbelievable. But it is quite believable, but it's quite unbelievable that happens. So as you can see, what I'm trying to do here is drawing a line where I want to have the color to begin and where the color to begin ending. Of course, because I drew out of the lines really well, like a child would. As you can see, like a child, I drew out of the lines very badly. I'm not very good at it, and I will probably not move this one because I made a mistake by not drawing the top part. But I will say that I'm very happy already how this drawing is turning out. Even though, it might look a little bit weird right now, but it will get better. It will get better. We're not yet there. That's the main idea. We're not yet there. We're close, but not quite. So, once this all is done, we will celebrate upon the shining stars. That is the cosmos. I don't know, something like that, something euphoric like that, or something inspiring. I don't know. I'm not a science man. I am a science man when it comes to science, but I'm not a science man. I have never studied it. Alright, time to fix our little chip-chap problems. Chip-chap problems. And those chip-chap problems are like very, very nasty little things that need to be fixed. So, where are they? Where are they hiding? Show yourself, you dicks. And they're hiding here. They are hiding here, right? Yes, they are hiding here. Wait. Are they hiding here? No. Then we're closing this off. Are they hiding over here? No. They should be hiding over there in the big, well, rounded place. So they should be hiding right over there, right? No. Where are they hiding? Is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Alright. They're hiding over there. So, now that we need to remove the little bits, we're gonna do that. Little bits, little bit of that, little bit of this. Alright. Now, you can see what I did. And now we also need to remove this part right here a little bit. There you go. Alright, so we have already done a lot. We have created the effect that we want, and we now need to figure out like, oh well, we still have some blur parts here left behind. Well, we're gonna fix that by giving it a little bit more freedom. So, we're gonna do that. Not on the coloring side, please. That is a bad idea. That's a really bad idea. No coloring problems. Thank you. We need to do this one. Alright, so we're gonna do casually. We're gonna give this a bit of a less of a problem, like that. Oh, now you can see stuff. Yeah, we can. Whoa. What a messy business. Of course, we don't want to have like blurring effects in the top part. Well, we do want to have some bits, but not everywhere. That would be horrible. And now, since that we are literally you're looking through a glass of wine that is, you know, a little bit trouble? Vague. No, that's a better word for that. And for now, it's a better word to go for vague. Because we don't want that to happen. We don't want you to focus on the tree. We want you to see the tree. We want to let you see the tree that it's a little bit blurred out. But we don't want you to focus on the tree. Or on the tree leaves, at least. Now, what is the problem here that is quite described quite easily? If you can see, this is actually quite nice, because now that you can see, the tree leaf looks alive, feels well, you can now exactly see like, well, do we need some more dark colors? Yeah, probably we need some dark colors. I did it, that's the wrong one, that's the wrong brush. That's the wrong brush. That's the fucking wrong brush. Jeez Louise. Alright. So this is the right brush. So as you can see, we can quite see like, oh well, that looks nice. And it doesn't feel like, you know, it doesn't feel like snot. That's the main problem that, you know, sometimes happens when you try to draw trees. The whole thing is going to be looking like a snot fest, which is not very helpful. Yeah, no. A little bit lighter. A little bit more. There you go. There you go. And because it's going to be looking a little bit snot-like, because, well, you know, the tree, the shading in the tree is all, you know, blurred up. But now with this effect in place, with the texture in place, it does look like tree instead of, you know, a groupy slime effect. Because if we did not remove the if we remove the texture and then we add the bird to it, which is gonna look at it and see what happens, it looks really awkward, you know, having this painted drawing where everything is detailed. Yeah, But if we add now the part of the tree, this looks nice. It gives the effect and feeling of what we want. And if we then add more to it, so if we add more lush leaves to it, if we add now more of this to it, it will create the feeling that we want. It will create the effect that we need. We just need to draw more of this. And then, eventually it will make sense. Right now, it looks odd. It looks out of place, it looks out of shape because, there's only one bit. And the tree has not been successfully modified. Alright, so we're going to save this bad boy up because, well, we need to. And I'm going to put this still on this. Yeah, we're going to save it like this because it's far better. So yeah, we successfully did the first bit, and now we need to draw more of it. And then once we have drawn all of it, we can then add it to tree so that it looks nice. All right. I hope you all have enjoyed for today. And how much time do we have left? Ooh, we have 4 minutes left. Ooh, that's good. Allow me to show you a quick thing before I quit the stream anyway. So we're gonna go to me. Oh yes, me. And we're gonna go to the ball man. And we're gonna go to V2 because V2. Duh. This is the second version, the thumbnail version, and the second version. So I have been working on this, and I must say I'm actually quite impressed how far I'm already at this anyway. So as you can see, what I did here was add some field of depth to it, kept the drawing style of the thing, and then add some textures to it, add some colorations to it, add some shading to it. Well, not shading, more like texture shading, but you get the point. So now the ball man is actually bursting through it, and that's what I'm aiming for. As you can see, I'm trying to aim for that. And if I add now the thing that I want, there you go. This thing is gonna be a gaping mouth equipment. A gaping mouth equipment is gonna be where the bomb is coming from. Of course, I'm gonna be doing it a little bit different with the thing, but it's gonna be very funny. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be aiming for with this drawing, and I'm already getting very well with it. I already drew the second guy that needs to be in the picture as well, so I'm going to go for a picture right here, picture right there, some pictures over here with some funky business, and then it's all going to be well. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Yep. No need for saving this. No need. And this one needs to also be quitting. So I hope you all have enjoyed, and thanks all for watching, and I hope I'll see you all next time. Until then, I wish you all a lovely day, and bye!